Got underway about 8:15 in the morning here in Long Beach. The compressed one-day format of Formula E, getting everyone up and out of bed outrageously early. Out goes Nico Prost. He was the first man out onto the circuit. De Grassi was out there as well, and that man, Nelson Piquet Jr., ended the session quickest, but he was caught out by the first chicane as well, which is going to be very interesting once we get to the race. Loic Duval with a big lockup there, coming down into the right-hander of turn number 4, kept it all together, and Buemi as well. Just locking up the wheels, and that is not somewhere you want to go into too hot. But Buemi was on it in the early stages, setting some of the earliest quick lap times. Nelson Piquet was really pushing hard. Brilliant slide coming through turn number 3. And then as well, really leaning on the car coming out of turn 5 and 6. Daniel Abt, unfortunately, ended the session by crashing into the wall on the exit of turn 1, something we may see a lot of as this day progresses. And well, what are the chances of having a Qualcomm safety car after accidents at the first corner like that? Here's one more view of it. Boom. There we go. Camera perfectly positioned right where the contact took place. So the yellow flags came out, and then subsequently the red flag. And because the next free practice session gets underway in just 35 minutes, it was just no one else was going to be running out there, but it was Nelson Piquet Jr. on the left there. Air temperature has gone up a degree to some 20 degrees, track temperature up to 28 degrees, and the cars were straight out on the circuit to try and get some valuable lap time in. Only one more free practice session to go, which is getting underway at 10:35. Bruno Senna went straight on, down at turn number 4, and then Jean-Eric Vergne went straight into the wall. Not a pleasant accident for the Frenchman. The man who's taken 2 pole positions in his 3 Formula E races is going to have a lot of work to do to have a good result this afternoon. And the Andretti team are going to have a lot of work to do just to give him a car for the race this afternoon. The cars were bouncing through the first corner, which is quite a spectacular little chicane actually. Charles Pic was running into troubles, couldn't get his next EV by Team China car running particularly well, ended up coming back to the pits. Buemi was out there pushing hard. He led the standings in the early stages. D'Ambrosio pushing as well, had to skip straight on down there at the first corner, which is going to be very busy come the race. Alguersuari's engineer telling him to come back into the pits at the end of the session. And it was that man, Lucas de Grassi, 0.7 of a second quicker than anyone else. He may have been one of the only men to turn up to 200 kilowatts of power, the full qualifying simulation mode. And so Lucas de Grassi, the quickest man of anyone in the 10:30 local time. And Jean-Eric Vergne had a lot of pressure on him not to stuff it in the wall, because he'd already done that in free practice 2, meaning if he'd done that again, he wouldn't have any more cars to run with for the next couple of hours at least. Same can be said of Daniel Abt, who's also collected the wall. Sebastian Buemi, first man out on the circuit, but he never really got a quick lap time in, ended up 19th in the session. He never really set a flying lap and concentrated mainly on race runs. Loic Duval was struggling to get his dragon turned into the right-hander of turn number 4, managed to keep it all together in the end. Same is said of Charles Pic, who at least ran without technical problems that he faced in free practice 2. Jean-Eric Vergne ended the session second quickest, 0.3 of a second slower than Lucas de Grassi, but nevertheless some good pace once again from Vergne. But it was that man, Lucas de Grassi, for the second time in 3 practice sessions here in Long Beach, the quickest man of anyone, a 57.293. So we're looking at a low 57 lap time, I think, for pole position. Nico Prost ended up 3rd quickest. There was the rear end of the Andretti car that is being bolted back together as we speak. Plenty of fans here already as well. It's now 11:10 in the morning, and they are all here to cheer on this man, Scott Speed, the American racer who finished 2nd in Miami, looking to go one better here. Jaime Alguersuari was entertaining, lobbing his car around for most of the race, but a thumbs up for Lucas de Grassi.